Let me guess. You opened up a government solicitation, you started reading some of that legal language, and you were instantly overwhelmed and decided that you were never going to do this again. If that sounds like you own a business, you've established yourself in the private sector, but you're still overwhelmed by government solicitation, then today I want to talk to you about how to break down a government contract in minutes using GenSpark. Now, in the description of this video, I have provided a link to a free GenSpark SOP. I'm not collecting your email, your phone number, nothing like that. It's a free SOP, but I really need you to stay till the end of this video because I'm going to show you how to use that SOP to the best of its ability. But the focus of today's video, the goal of today's video is in three folds. Number one, I want to talk about the problem that most small businesses face when bidding on government contracts. Number two, I would like to talk about the possible solutions using AI tools with the focus on GenSpark. And number three, I'm going to demo the solution using the SOP that I've provided for free in this video. But here is the problem that we are constantly facing while bidding on government contracts. I have carefully divided this problem into three for the sake of this video. And the problems are as follows. Number one, they do not understand the language that is in the solicitation that's directly in front of them. The language is so complicated. I will have you know that a government contract is not typically written in 2 pages with 5th grade language. So small business owners find themselves confused when going through the solicitation. That's the first problem. The second problem has to do with filling out forms. They do not know how to fill out the forms that are required for the submission. And I'll tell you this, it's not an easy task. Yes, there are some forms that are standard with many contracts, and there are some other forms that come in per contract requirements. And because of how murky this pathway is, most people are completely overwhelmed. And the third problem has to do with writing compliant proposals from scratch. They do not know how to do this. They're trying to figure out the magic structure. They're trying to figure out the right way, the winning proposal, when the truth is that there is no one way to do this. But the average government solicitation, I must have you know that most of the government solicitations on SAM.gov typically include 3 crucial attachments. Now, this does not apply to a sources sought, okay? This does not apply to a pre-solicitation. So this applies to like a combined synopsis or a solicitation. So one of the main things is you're going to find there's a main solicitation, an SF-1449 or an RFQ document. Now, one of the things about this document is that it contains other layers. It could contain the scope of work. It could contain the clauses, the evaluation criteria, and the submission details for the contractor. So this document could be anywhere from 10 to 40 pages long. Another section that you're going to see is going to be the technical specs or the drawing. This is dependent on the contract. It could be drawings. Let's say it's a construction contract. You're going to need to build out a gazebo, a brand new gazebo. They want to see the drawing, the technical specs. So this is going to contain detailed requirements, technical layouts, and performance specs. A document like this could typically be anywhere from 10 to 40 pages long. And this third layer, which is crucial, is the pricing sheet. It's the itemized pricing for each service or item, just to keep things clean. Now, a typical pricing sheet could be anywhere from 2 to 20 pages long, depending on the contract. So a complete solicitation package can run you up to 120 pages long. And this actually leads me to my very first problem. The very first problem is that they do not understand the language of the government solicitation that they are looking at. And this is a big one. Let's talk about it. Solicitations could contain long descriptions. Let's talk about these descriptions, okay? Similar to what we're seeing on the screen right now. You could have an extremely long description, and in that description, there's pertinent information that you're going to need to advance in the contract. So you're going to need to learn how to break down that very long description, and many people tend to feel extremely overwhelmed, especially when they see a description like that. And then sometimes the solicitation will contain multiple attachments, like what you're seeing on the screen there. That's crazy. We have attachment 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have drawings. We have amendments. When small business owners typically see an attachment bouquet like this, they run away for good reason. This is a lot of attachments. It could feel very overwhelming. This alone can make these small business owners feel extremely overwhelmed. Now, let's move on to problem number 2. They do not know how to fill out the forms. There are going to be lots of forms, some standard forms, some new forms, depending on the contract that's being pursued. And you're going to need to fill out those forms. I remember talking to a community member who was almost bragging, saying, hey, listen, I've submitted about 20 proposals. And then later we got to find out that he doesn't even know what the SF-1449 form is. This is one of those forms that comes standard in many solicitations. So you can already write off about 10 of the proposals that he submitted, because you're not always going to be lucky enough to have a contracting officer reach out to you and say, hey, listen, we need the SF-1449. So you need to know how to fill out these forms. So if you want to join my next proposal writing class, just comment proposal in the comments. If I get enough people, I would announce the dates. But problem number 3 is that they do not know how to write compliant proposals from scratch. They're always looking for the magic bullet. They're always looking for the magic structure. But the truth is that you need to learn how to write it from scratch. I had somebody in my proposal writing class who told me that he spent $20,000 on proposal writers and has never won a government contract. Now, if he spent about $200 on a couple of AI subscriptions, he would have had the ability to write more proposals than what he finally did. So I want to move on to the demo section because we've been doing a lot of talking. So I'm going to want to show you how to use the GenSpark SOP that I have provided for you for a short demo. If you look at the link in the description, you can use that link. I have the link right here for myself. So I'd like to see you on the other side. When you click on the link, you should go into a page that looks kind of like this. All right, so this is what you're going to see there. And yep, see you on the other side. Welcome to the other side. Guys, this is GenSpark AI SOP for US government contracts. Before we talk about breaking down a government solicitation for a government contract, first we need to find the government contract that we are going to break down. So my initial impulse is to recommend to you SamSearch. SamSearch is an all-in-one government contracting tool that is going to help you find contracts using AI. Right now, for the sake of this video, I am going to demo how you can use SamSearch to search for your contract, to have a more accurate search on your contract. Here, I'm going to click on the search bar. As you can see, the user interface is very friendly. Not only can you search for federal contracts, you can also search for state, local, and education. You can also look at DIBs. You can also look at subcontractors. Today, we're going to focus on federal contracts, but I wanted to show you how expansive this particular tool is. Today, we're going to be looking at emergency services, for example. This is one of the best tools to search for your contract. Okay, so emergency and fire services, we can see there. Wheelchair transportation service agreement, we can see that there. On the right side of the screen, you can also see that we have a couple of filters. I can decide that we're only looking for solicitations and combined synopsis just to keep everything on key. What we have here is wheelchair transportation service agreement. One of the greatest things about SamSearch is that once you open it up, you can see the information very quickly. The notice type is a solicitation. You can see the office. You can see who the buyer is. You can see the place of performance. You can see the post date. It was posted 4 days ago and it's due in 10 days. You have enough time to begin to talk to subcontractors and find out the price of this contract. But look at the description. It says the Hampton VA Medical Center, community-based outpatient clinics, Langley AFB clinics, Albemarle APOC, Cheapsky CBOC, North Battlefield outpatient clinic, Portsmouth and Virginia Beach and affiliated clinics require contracted non-emergency ambulance, and affiliated healthcare clinic require contracted non-emergency wheelchair transportation services. The contractor shall provide all vehicles, personnel, management supplies, etc. Okay, we have just one attachment here, which is insane. Let's download that attachment and save it right here because I want to go into GenSpark. GenSpark is fantastic. The first thing I want you to do when you get into GenSpark is go into this new column and click on Super Agent. You want to be working with the super agents. As you can see, GenSpark has a plethora of agents that you could use, from super agents to AI slides, to AI sheets, to AI docs, to AI designer. So there's so much that you could do. But today we are focused on the super agent. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to pull this document. Now, I'm going to go into the ebook, government contracting. I'm going to go quickly into the ebook, Government Contracting Without Tears. This is the ebook that over 500 businesses across the United States are now using to break down their contracts, find subcontractors, and to write proposals. I'm going to pull out a prompt from this ebook right now. Okay, right here, I'm going to extract this prompt and use it to get all So I'm going to use this prompt. I'm going to paste it right there. And you can pause and grab that prompt, or you can grab the ebook, Government Contracting Without Tears. And by the way, if you want to join my next proposal writing class, just comment proposal in the comment section. Comment proposal in the comment section. And now watch how GenSpark is actually able to break down this contract into simple language and into frames, into different sections, because that prompt is not just a random prompt, by the way. That prompt is going to pull out the scope of work. It's going to pull out the technical specification. It's going to pull out the performance matrix. It's going to pull out the timeline and the milestones. And it's also going to pull out the evaluation criteria. This is all the information that you're going to need immediately at a glance to start making a bid or no bid decision. Is this a contract that you're going to possibly work with? Is this a contract that you're going to stop working on because it's not worth your time or it's not within your wheelhouse? You need to be able to make that decision quickly. So as you can see, GenSpark is thinking, and because it's a super agent, it is going to take a little bit more time. But what you're going to find instantly is that the results that it's going to give you is going to be properly aligned. It's going to be properly aligned. So let's give it some more time as it's running through the process. But that prompt says extract key details from the provided statement of work. Now, the AI tool will know if this is a statement of work or not. And by the way, we can also open that document and see. Now, what we have here is the SF 1449 to be filled out, sections 12, 17, 23, 24, and 30. Okay. So this is standard form 1449. So you have the table of content. I don't know why, but it's really controversial in this space to add a table of contents to your proposal. And I don't know why it's controversial. We see the government using table of contents all the time. So to me, there's nothing controversial. I think it's polite to have a table of contents. But the document that we're working with today, let's see. This document is 88 pages long. 88 pages long. So right now, GenSpark has been able to break down an 88-page document into a very quick summary that can give us the opportunity to make a bid or no bid decision immediately at a glance. So the first thing is the scope of work. We're going to provide 24/7, 365 non-emergent wheelchair transportation services to Hampton's VA Medical Center, community-based outpatient clinics, and affiliated healthcare facilities, servicing over 111,809 veterans across the Virginia and North Carolina, or across, yes. So let's see the main task. Non-emergent wheelchair van transportation on site as needed basis, 24/7 availability, including weekends and holidays, transport veterans from the facility to private resident airports and other medical facilities. Again, I don't want to go through reading all of this. What you can see immediately is that it has given you that information very quickly that you can begin to read. But what I also want to show you is, let's say this was your proposal and you wanted to format this proposal into a professional setting. So I'm going to do something here. I'm going to transcribe to GenSpark like this. Hey, look, I want you to turn this summary into a formatted document that is professional from my company ABC Ltd. This is a bonus. Just turn it into a formatted document that looks like a government-ready proposal. Guys, these days I like to transcribe to GenSpark as opposed to prompting because I'm able to use my original voice. I am able to speak the way I speak and communicate completely and clearly to GenSpark. So, for example, this is what we have just been able to do, and we're going to wait for the task to be done. I am now showing you how you can use GenSpark to format your proposal. I know we didn't end up writing a proposal, but let's use this text to write out or format a document. This is going to be really interesting. And the way GenSpark does it, depending on how you prompt it, you can ask it to give you a specific heading, a specific landing page kind of setup. Let's see what we're going to produce. As you can see, the code is being written here. And now we have ABC Ltd. Let me get my face away from this. Check this out. This is what formatting looks like. It's formatting the information. So now you don't just have this raw information. You're able to format it into a more professional looking document. Guys, if you want to join my proposal writing class for next month, I want you to comment a proposal in the comments. And if we get enough people, I'm going to host a proposal writing class, and it's going to be explosive like all the other proposal writing classes in the past. Just comment proposal below and be sure to click on the link to get your free SOP for GenSpark. Begin to use this tool. Tell me what you think. But as you can see, it's beginning to format the document into a professional, ready to go. All right, guys. See you on the other side.